What up, though? What's good with it, man? Paper Chaser Sports. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Real quick. I'm going to try to make this real quick. I'm just going to talk real quick about the Suns and the Mavericks. Game 7. It's another Game 7. We had 2 Game 7s today. This has got to be, every basketball fan's dream to have 2 Game 7s, to have Game 7s, multiple Game 7s in one day. It was incredible. But let's talk about this Suns Mavericks, man. Listen here. What I'm going to do, I'm a Suns fan. I'm going to give the Mavericks State credit. You know what I'm saying? We're going to give the Mavericks State credit. We're going to talk about who's to blame for the Suns fans. So all my Suns fans, y'all listen up. You know what I'm saying? We're going to start with the Mavericks. First and foremost, Mavericks, congratulations. Y'all did great. First and foremost, you got to tip the cap to my man Jason Kidd. Lost the first 2 games, made some incredible adjustments, and then won 4 out of the last 5 games. Out-coached the coach of the year. We definitely going to talk about, the coach of the year getting out coached. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about a few things about these Suns. We definitely going to talk about, guys who want to win Defensive Player of the Year and get dogged. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about guys who call themselves gods and play like mere mortals. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about guys who want to be mentioned for MVP and come up small in Game 7 and in other playoff games. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about guys who want max money and disappear. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to get there. We're going to get there, I promise. Now, aside from Jason Kidd, who else do I give credit for the Mavericks? I'm definitely, of course, giving credit to Luka Doncic. Now, I'm going to be honest. I didn't know about Luka. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I didn't know about him. I wasn't a believer in Luka like that. I'm going to be honest. You know what I'm saying? What I thought Luka was, I thought he was a high usage rate player. James Harden 2.0, Russell Westbrook in his MVP seasons, one of these stat guys that's just going to run up a whole bunch of numbers. You got the ball in your hands with an insane usage rate. So, of course, you got all these points. And, just because the offense runs through you, you get 1 million assists. And because you just happen to be, a big, strong guy, a forward, you can grab some rebounds, So you add it all up and you get a crazy statistical output, But I'm thinking this is more of like, one of those type of things, Russell Westbrook, James Harden, whatever type of situations. Luka Doncic made the Suns feel it for not drafting him, you know what I'm saying? And you got to respect it. You got to respect it. You know what I'm saying? He made the Suns feel it for not drafting him. I can't knock that. You know what I'm saying? I can't knock that at all. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, kudos to Luka. Kudos to Luka. Keep going. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and keep going. Got to give Luka his credit. And then, of course, Jalen Brunson stepped up. Disappeared the first 2 games, but then he stepped up those last 5 games. So you got to give him a little bit of the credit, too. And then on top of that, to round it all off for the Mavericks, I think you got to, of course, throw in the others, all the defensive players. Dorian Finney-Smith stepped up, was playing good defense, and he played big in Game 7, I think he had like 30 points or something close to it. You got to give him his credit. You definitely got to give Reggie Bullock his credit. You got to give, Dwight Powell, he was out there, he was out there making 8 and get fouls and all this other type of stuff. So he was out there doing something too, So you got to give the other guys a credit too. Mainly the 3-and-D guys for sure for the Dallas Mavericks. And the Mavericks organization, you just have to also acknowledge that they made some great changes. They got rid of Kristaps Porzingis and then brought in, all these 3-and-D guys that they got. So, hey, Mavs organization, +1 for y'all, on that. Maybe Luka just needs, his number 2 guy. Maybe he just needs his Pippen. You know what I'm saying? We'll see. TBD on that. But you got to salute the Mavericks and what they did. Now, to these Phoenix Suns. Now, like I said, we got coaches who won Coach of the Year and getting out-coached. Monty Williams. Yes, the first bit of blame goes to you, my friend. You definitely got to get the first share of this blame, Monty Williams, because, yeah, Jason Kidd out-coached you. He out-coached you. The funny part of it is, if you're a Suns fan, you've heard this a million times. You've always heard Monty Williams talk about getting happy on the farm. We got happy on the farm out there. And the thing is, last year, Monty Williams was calling that out. Anytime we get happy on the farm, feeling good about ourselves, getting cocky, he will remind us. I don't think he's been reminding us that we've been getting happy on the farm out this mug. Because honestly, that's what I seen. You know what I'm saying? The Suns was getting happy on the farm out that joint, was feeling themselves a little bit, and Coach Monty didn't rein it in. You know, he didn't read the team, you know what I'm saying, when he needed to. He didn't make the right adjustments. He made a good adjustment in Game 5, you know, bringing in Bismack Biyombo and bringing in Landry Shamet instead of Campaign. Those were good adjustments. But it worked in Game 5. I think once you see Landry Shamet, I think he played all right. You know what I'm saying? He represented himself pretty well. You know what I'm saying? He didn't obviously blow the game up or nothing, but he played all right. Campaign, he didn't. Who else was on anyway? Monty Williams, man. You fucked up. You fucked up, bro. That's all I'm gonna say. Monty Williams, you let us down. You know, you let us down. I'm just gonna leave it at that. You know, because honestly, Monty Williams, he just plain got out coached. Jason Kidd served him up. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, you lose by 40 points in a game seven. That tells you all you need to know. Next up on the Phoenix Suns, yes, we have the mortal, the point mortal, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Chris Paul, CP3. Cause yeah, man, your godhood has been revoked. You definitely getting kicked out of Mount Olympus because your performance in this whole series has been terrible. You know what I'm saying? We won games. The Suns won game 1 and 2, and then after that, as soon as Chris Paul went missing, so did the Suns. You know, the Suns' identity you just didn't see it. You know what I'm saying? And I give on the floor, I'm giving that blame to Chris Paul. You know, you're supposed to be the floor general. You're supposed to be the one putting people in position. But I didn't see the movement that the Suns normally have. I didn't see the screens. I didn't see the backdoor cuts from McHale and Cam. I didn't see those. I saw a whole lot of isolation ball by Booker. I saw one pass and then somebody try to pull up and make a shot. I seen Chris Paul holding on to the ball, you know, just way too long. Booker getting trapped, you know, every time he gets the ball. You know, the Mavericks actually making a concerted attempt to stop a player, you know, on the Suns team. The Suns made no concerted attempt to really stop anything. They didn't make any concerted attempt to really stop Luka, nor did they make any concerted attempt to stop any of the other players. So it's like, you're just going to let everybody have what they're going to have. I mean, shoot. Y'all might as well just cherry pick the whole game and stay on offense. I mean, at that point. So in any case, I digress. Chris Paul, man, it's just nah. And I was one who said that that the Suns shouldn't have brought back Chris Paul. That was my saying last year. I thought we got what we needed to get out of Chris Paul. You know, he was the elder statesman. He needed to show the Suns how to win, how to have the right mentality. And he didn't bring it this year. You know, he didn't bring it like he was supposed to as far as having that right mentality. Maybe something was wrong with him. Maybe something was off. He was injured. Who knows? But at the end of the day, he didn't deliver. He didn't play like himself, and he was turning the ball over like crazy. So he was really hurting the team, and he was getting picked on defense. Yeah, we saw it. Anyway, next up on my list for the Phoenix Suns, yep, Mr. MVP, Devin Booker, yep. You disappeared, you know what I'm saying? You know, you see all these other guys that's around his age group, you know what I'm saying? The Jason Tatums, the Luka Doncic's, you know, they can have these big 35-point, 40-point, you know, output nights. You know, the defenses are concentrating on them too. You know, the opposing defense has a large chunk of their game plan dedicated to this particular person. So yes, the Mavericks did have a game plan for Devin Booker. They were trapping him an awful lot. Smart play. You know, they said we're going to wear Chris Paul out on defense. We're going to trap Devin Booker and make somebody else, force him to give up the ball, basically, and let somebody else beat us. You know, we're going to tire out Chris Paul, don't let Booker have it, and let one of the other three guys try to beat us. And it worked. You know, it worked. Yeah, so my guy fell short. You can't be out here saying, you know, I need my flowers, you know, I need to be the MVP, and, you know, y'all sleeping on me, and then this happens. You know, this is why you get slept on. You know, this is why you get slept on. You know, let's say you would have, I don't know, dropped 50. You know, maybe you dropped 50 in a game 7. Maybe next time around in the MVP voting, maybe they remember you. But, you know, when you have a game like this, this is what they going to remember now. You talk about MVP votes? Hey, bro. Oh, that's done with. Go win first. Go win something. You know what I'm saying? All that individual stuff, go win something. You go win something, trust me, you'll start getting that individual stuff. But you can't put the carriage before the horse. You got to win first, and then you're going to get that type of love, that type of credit, that type of recognition. So pump the brakes, Mr. MVP. If you're going to be Mr. MVP, you got to live up to being Mr. MVP in the MVP moments. And that's what I'm just going to leave it at that, you know what I'm saying, with Mr. MVP. Next up. Certain teammates said that this man got cheated, out of the Defensive Player of the Year. And then, in this particular series, you didn't see a whole lot of defense. You had a couple games. I think it was game 5, the game that the Suns won. The last game that the Suns won, where he made some pretty good defensive plays. But offensively, this man disappeared. So you mean to tell me that not only were you not really being effective on defense, and obviously Luka Doncic is a great player. He's going to get his. It doesn't really matter who's defending him. In my opinion, you shouldn't even really waste your best defender on him because he's going to score on whoever. What you need to do is stop Luka Doncic from passing the ball to the next person. You know what I'm saying? So you put Mikal on the next best person. You know what I'm saying? Luka Doncic is his first option. That's who you should have did. You know what I'm saying? Should have put him on the first option because Luka Doncic is going to get what he's going to do. But the thing is, Luka Doncic cannot score 100 points. He just can't. Maybe he gets 50, but he's not going to score 100. So let Luka do Luka and stop everybody else. Stop him from getting the ball. Stop him from scoring. Anyway, I should have been Defensive Player of the Year. I got snubbed. This guy completely disappears on defense for most of the series. He probably was working pretty hard, but ultimately was not very effective. And then does nothing on offense. So, hey, at the end of the day, if you're going to get got like that on defense, at least give us some on offense. Hit a 3, something. Get on them fast breaks like you're supposed to be doing. Those backdoor cuts. I just didn't see the energy that we normally see from Mikal Bridges in these clutch moments. So I'm going to leave it at that with him. But Mikal, I got you next behind, Monty, Booker, and Paul. And then, of course, next I got Mr. Max Player. Mr. I want a max. You know what? Hey, truth be told, the reason I have Ayton lower than all these guys is because I think he's in a bad spot. I think he's in a bad position. And I actually truly believe that the Suns are doing this guy dirty. Number one, you should have paid him. You should have paid him. You should have paid him. Now you're going to use this against him. But, hey, I think DeAndre Ayton has a real gripe against the Suns. He's got a real gripe against the Suns, and it actually wouldn't surprise me if he pulls a Joe Johnson on the Suns. Don't be surprised if DeAndre Ayton is not a Sun next season. And I'm just going to leave it at that. He gets some of the blame because he should be dominating the game, even though his teammates aren't looking for him the way that they should be, that they truly should be. He still needs to be dominant on defense. He still needs to dominate the rebounds. Even if your teammates aren't going to look for you on offense, you can't let that bring you to a point to where you don't dominate the other areas that you absolutely can dominate. So because of that, Ayton, I'm sorry, I got to give you some of this blame. You are one of the best players on the team, so you got to have some blame too. Next, the whole bench, the whole Phoenix Suns bench, y'all all get some blame. The Phoenix Suns bench. Y'all all get some blame. Cam Johnson, you disappeared most of the series. Game 7, I like the energy. He showed up a little bit in Game 7. I thought they should have kept going to him a little bit more, to be honest with you, because he actually seemed like he wanted it. A lot of other players didn't really seem like they wanted it, but Cam Johnson did. But ultimately, overall in the series, wasn't really much of a factor. I think he did have another good game in there as well at one point, where I think he might have went off for like 15. Good game, but ultimately not as consistent as we need him to be. And he did just get back from an injury at the end of the season, so that could, of course, have something to do with it. So I'm not going to get too bad on Cam. But ultimately, the bench failed us. Cam Payne totally fell in the toilet, just fell off the map. JaVale McGee, they couldn't even really – I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was the Mavs were doing, but JaVale McGee I don't know if he just doesn't match up well with the Mavs because they were going small or what, but he wasn't much of a factor there. Bismack Biyombo was good and active, but ultimately, I mean, he doesn't really give you much on offense. So it's pretty solid defensively, but to me, he's a one-sided of the court player. So I'm in on Bismack. And then Mr. Torrey Craig. I have a special Torrey Craig upsets me, for a different reason. More so than any of these other bench players. He really upsets me because he's here and he's a Sun. And why that upsets me is because we traded away our last lottery pick for this guy. The Suns said, we're going to get rid of our young guy and we're going to go get this veteran who we think is going to help us win in the playoffs. Where the fuck was this guy at in the playoffs? That's what I want to know. Where the fuck is Torrey Craig at? We gave up our last lottery pick. You mean to tell me you have a team that goes to the NBA Finals and they have a lottery pick that doesn't even play, and all they get for that lottery pick is Torrey Craig? Nope. And that's why next on the hit list is James Jones. Yep, a lot of people ain't going to say it, but James Jones, Mr. GM, you get some blame. You get some blame too. You didn't make a move before the trade deadline like we knew you should have. The move that you did make did not move the needle. It did not move the needle. Luka Doncic made you look foolish for your decision. He did. He did that. He did it. He did it for the past 2 weeks. Made you look foolish for your decision. And James Jones, you got to own that. You got to own that. You know what I'm saying? You got to own that. And that's all I got to say about that. So I'm going to let it go from here. That's who I blame, for the Suns. I think all the stars get some blame, including Mr. Defensive Player of the Year. I think he gets some blame. I know he didn't win Defensive Player of the Year, but a lot of the Suns players said he should have won Defensive Player of the Year, so I'm kind of just making light of that. But, Mr. Defensive Player of the Year and the stars, y'all all get some blame, because if the Suns would have won, y'all would have all been getting the credit. Everybody would be singing y'all praises, especially Chris Paul and Devin Booker. That's why I'm really on their case. Chris Paul, something looked like it was wrong with him. He might need to retire. He's just too old. He's getting too old for the game. He always getting injured in the playoffs. Hey, just let it go, man. Go ahead and go into a backup role. Get into coaching, something, because frankly, well, it doesn't really matter what Chris Paul does. The Suns messed up giving this man a whole bunch of money for the next 3 more years. They got to pay this man. So anyway, let me get up out of here. I'm out, y'all. Paper Chaser Sports, y'all. Peace.